Hi, welcome back to Papa John's Pantry. Remember to like our Facebook page, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and questions or comments, reach out to me at papajohnspantry at gmail.com. So today we are making my spin on stuffed bell peppers. Not hard at all. It's just a couple different steps. You're going to prepare, find if you can find it already cooked off, like a pre-cooked like an Uncle Ben stuff, although great. We're going to stuff these with a meat mixture we're going to make and a rice mix called dirty rice. So prepare this. Start by preparing this as directed on the box. Okay? Then we're going to fry up some onions, some hamburger, and some pepper strips. Put in a little adobo, and we're also going to. I'll show you how to prepare these peppers. And we're going to boil these for 2 minutes once we have them prepared. So once these are going to go into the oven, they'll pretty much the rice will be hot and cooked, the peppers will be hot and cooked. We're just going to melt some cheese in it, and it's a way to save some baking time. All right, so I'm going to get this rice started, and I will catch you back here in a moment. I'm going to get the water started for boiling these peppers too. And now would be a good time to turn your oven on to 350. Alrighty, welcome back. So, get a tablespoon of some oil on the bottom of the pan. I'm using my electric skillet. You know, if you've been watching the channel, I like using this thing. I'm doing this on high. If you're doing this on a skillet on your stove top, you're going to be a low to medium flame. Alright, I'm using a pound of beef. This is frozen, so it's started. I thawed out in the microwave, so it started to cook up just a little bit. So that's why it looks a little funky. No, it's not bad. It's just because it cooked a little bit. I'm going to add in a tablespoon of adobo. We're going to put in a cup of onions diced. This is something that your frozen vegetables would do just as good as fresh ones. Save yourself some time. Nobody will ever know the difference. I'm using a cup of pepper strips. Again, places like a grocery chain here in Tops sell peppers and onions. Excuse me. Already mixed together. You know, something you can use like a fajita mix as well. Especially if it's got corn and stuff in it, that'd be a great stir-in addition to it to make this taste good. So this is going to we're going to be stirring this with a wooden spoon every now and again. Push this up a little bit. If you have a lid for your stovetop, great. If not, it'll just take a smidge bit longer, but no big deal. All right, so we're going to prepare these peppers next. Now for this, I'm just going to use a steak knife. We're going to cut the tops off. I don't know, can you even... No, you can't see what I'm doing, I'm sorry. So I'm taking a steak knife and I'm just cutting the tops off. Someday I'll get a camera. In the meantime, I'm just using my cell phone because that's what I'm using. Alright, now I'm just going to take these to the sink and just going to rinse the seeds out of these. If there's any excessive ribbing on the inside, just pull it out. But, or scoop it out like that. And then it'll... it'll tap out for the most part, and then just run these under the sink to remove the rest of the seeds. Not that these bell pepper seeds aren't spicy; they just will be an unexpected crunch that nobody's expecting. So give these a rinse in your sink. Put these, drain them, put them upside down so they drain. We're going to stir the beef every now and again until it's all brown. And we're waiting for our rice and our water to boil to boil these. All right, I'll see you in just a few minutes. We'll stir the meat mixture up. Just every couple of minutes, give your meat and your peppers and add a stir. Then we're going to drain this, get all the fat out of here. We're going to add this to our rice when the rice is done. All right, so just keep at it. Try to break it up as much as possible with your spoon as you go. If you're using frozen meat, it'll take a little bit longer. All right, we're just gonna keep doing it until it's evenly brown. It's hamburger. We don't want to be serving this uncooked. Alright, so just keep mixing your meat up until this is evenly brown. I got a few more minutes, and I'm going to drain this in the sink in the colander, and I'm just going to let this hang out until my rice is done. Those especially rice blends like the Goya jambalaya mix and the fried rice and that takes those need to simmer about 20-25 minutes. So those will take some time. So there's no rush to all this, because this will be cooked, the peppers will be cooked, the rice will be cooked, and we're just going to melt some cheese in the oven. So no race. I'll see you once it's time for me to start cooking these peppers on the stove. Alrighty, welcome back, interwebs people. So I'm going to do two things right now, and you don't have to do this. I'm going to add the meat mixture, since it's done, right to the rice while it's simmering, just so it's got a more uniform flavor to it. While that finishes up simmering. Just got 15.5 minutes left, so I'm stirring that in. Let that finish doing its thing. Alright, and now for the pepper part. So we got our peppers, they're rinsed out. You pulled the ribbing out. And so now you're just going to carefully place these in the boiling water. Use a pair of tongs. And we're going to let these hang out about 2 to 3 minutes. Boiling. Once the water really starts to rage, we'll give them about 2 minutes. You're not gonna overcook. I mean, it'll take quite a while for them to overcook because they'll get a real light green. But you just want them to start to. Basically, want to heat them up, and they'll start to give a little bit. And when you put them off to the side, they'll almost feel waxy-ish once they're done. All right, so we'll boil these for 2 minutes once the heat catches back up. Alrighty, we're boiling again. So let these hang out a few minutes until they start to soften up. They'll start to get squishy when you squeeze them gently with your tongs. You don't want them to mush up. But all right. So we'll let these go about 3. It all really depends on how big your peppers are. But until they just start to give, it shouldn't take any more than 5 minutes. All right. So I'll see you in a couple minutes. All right. Once you start to give, you're going to turn them off and carefully take them out of the water and put them off to the side upside down so they can drain. I'm going to put them right into, I got a small baking pan. Again, this recipe I'm making for 4. I mean, if we have any extra rice, which we might, rice and meat mix, we'll just serve that, because I'm going to serve these in a bowl with a fork and a steak knife. We'll just put them in the bowl. We'll put the extra rice in the bottom of the bowl and put the peppers on top of it, just for some extra. So that's how you can get rid of any extra rice. And if you don't have any, depending on how many peppers you're using, you don't have any extra rice. It is what it is. All right, so that's that. Still waiting for my rice to finish. I'll see you in a few minutes once it's done. So like I said about the using the corn like a fajita mix in this stuff. Some people stuff these some variables. You can use like the Spanish rice. It's got the tomato sauce and stuff in it. I don't use that just because my wife doesn't like it and she's the boss. But, you know, eat the different colored peppers. You know, they got the red and the orange, yellow varieties, bell peppers as well. I mean, there's a lot of different ways. I mean, as you saw, I'm using a box rice. You can make your own dirty rice or use plain white rice and season it to how you like it. You know, there's a lot of, I'm just giving you a roadmap and you can take off on your own adventure. We don't have to do any, you know, the dirty rice plus the adobo seasoning. There's plenty of spice to this. So I'm just using some, you know, I'm going to be filling them about 1 centimeter from the top of the pepper and then putting some shredded cheddar cheese on the top, and we're just going to melt them for about 10 minutes in the oven. If even that long, to you know, brown the cheese up as much as you want or melt it as much as you want, and that's up to you. But once this rice is all set here, these are pretty much done. We'll carefully stuff the peppers without burning ourselves and cheese them up, and that's about that. See you in a couple minutes. All right, my rice is finally done cooking. And now, since I added like the peppers and stuff to it, there's some extra liquid in the rice, which is fine. I'm using an ice cream scooper. You can use a regular tablespoon for this. Just be careful not to burn yourself. The peppers are still a smidge bit hot. So we're just gonna stuff these until they're almost full. Like I said, you want to leave a little room. Like I'm putting some cheddar cheese on the top of these, and I think I'm definitely going to have some leftover rice that I'll serve up in a bowl. So so just kind of try to stand them up in the pan as best as possible. They might not stand all that well, which is okay, because we're just going to put some, like I said, we're just going to melt some cheese in here. In fact, you could even do that in the microwave if you wanted to put these in an individual bowl. Like I said, these are all cooked. We're just warming the peppers back up a smidge bit, and then just melting cheese. You can eat them right now if you want. These are kind of, it's hot. These are kind of all my years of cooking, and I never ever, see, I'm not perfect. I don't pretend to be. All my years of cooking, and I never got the cook's hands where I can touch anything at 1,000 degrees and not burn myself. Everything still hurts. So these will probably tumble over a little bit, which is fine. Like I said, we're just going to melt the cheese. How much cheese? Just however much you want in here. I left a little bit of room. You're probably going to get about, this cheese is still a smidge bit frozen. So these will take a couple minutes to bake. Probably about 2 tablespoons in each of one of these. And if any of these are wobbly, just lean them towards the inside of the pan, just so the cheese ain't going out to the bottom of your oven and making a big old burn mess. The thing is, with the meat being so hot, the cheese will melt from both the top and the bottom. All right, so arrange these in a way that they won't fall over on you, or as best as possible. If they do, they do. If they don't, they don't. And put them in the oven, 350. That's a low enough temperature that you really can't overcook these. And I'm going to put them in for 10 minutes. And that's that. I'll see you when these are done. Alrighty, so I did have extra rice. I'm gonna just serve these up in a bowl. Serve them up with a steak knife and a fork, and you are good to go. If you have things like sour cream and stuff, it would be absolutely delicious with these. Alright, thanks for watching. I'll take a picture once it's all cut open in a minute. Thank you.